For a second there, I thought you were Clint Eastwood wooding me,
Oh
and I was just
no,
going to be doing this with an empty chair.
no! I was getting the tea.
Excellent.
For,
Yes, yes. Hello, everyone, and welcome to a K-Day delay post show. This time on Thursday instead of Tuesday. This is Tea with Che and Shai. This is with Chaitanya Kamandori, political strategist, and Shai Pointer-Against-It, nerd about town. Yeah, what kind of tea are you drinking?
well, I have not drunk it yet, but I have mint green tea from the Art of Tea that I have.
We we have not coordinated on this. I am having a Moroccan mint tea, which
Oh,
is a green tea with mint in it, as you
it's,
probably know.
yes, I'm going to actually dunk it in the water right now
Just
uh,
synchronicity, pure
to
coincidence.
to do this. But yeah, so I guess it mint is just in the air. You know, I
It is
guess
spring, right?
correct. Yeah, it is. It is probably the green. The green is putting everybody in the mind of mint. Yeah, so let's talk about the segment. What did you think of
Right.
it?
The move of family values to anti wokeness.
It's the same exact playbook. Core corporations is the new family values. That's basically the discussion, and it's a very similar idea. We're going to violate our free market dogma. We're going to pretend to,
Pretend to, yeah.
ostensibly, to say that we are, on the side of working families. Meanwhile, we're just running the same exact policies in terms of favoring the upper class and the middle class. Same exact one.
Right,
So
exactly. Yeah, you made that point that the Axios memo had just conveniently leaked.
yeah, and so Axios, I don't know if people, the five viewers of this, are aware. Axios, is kind of it's anyone can read Axios, but
Mhm.
the people who read it tend to be political insiders, people who are very heavily involved in politics, political donors in particular, which is why this was leaked. This was leaked specifically so that the GOP's donors understood what was going on. That this was not a, that this is not a this is just sort of a part of a strategy to ingratiate themselves with working class voters, etc.
Right, right. Do you think it will work? It's very clear what they're doing. They're putting on a pantomime, uh, all sorts of dumb show. Like we're for you working class voters, even though we're handing out $2 billion tax cuts to corporations.
Right.
Um, but do
Do I
you
think
think
it
it's
will
going
work?
to? Yeah.
No.
Mhm.
And I think one of the reasons it's not going to work is Joe Biden. We didn't really talk about this in the segment, but Joe Biden has a very clear, I would say, three-pronged strategy to sort of defeat this particular tactic.
Right. You
Um,
managed to touch on that quickly at the end, but did you want to
yeah,
go into
very
that further?
yeah. Well, the first one obviously is he is supporting labor unions.
Hmm.
So you saw that with the support for the striking workers in Alabama. The second thing that he is doing is he's putting money directly in the pocket of working class, middle class voters. With the direct checks, which not a single Republican voted for, it should be pointed out. But also the infrastructure includes programs very much geared towards working class, middle class people at the expense of corporate and upper class people. And the third is, and most importantly, tax increases on corporations and on high income earners. So those are kind of the wrong strategy where he is really trying in a very real way to materially benefit working class people and deflect from this culture war stuff.
How do
Bill
you?
Clinton did the exact same thing in the 90s.
Right. Right. Uh, yeah. Clinton benefited from having the Republicans all distracted by their moral witch hunt of him.
Right. Yes. Exactly. Well, they were not so moral themselves. I mean,
Right.
I don't
Exactly.
know. I mean, and I pointed out that exact month, May 1992, the cover of Playboy magazine, I believe, was Donald Trump.
Yes. I
So,
meant to congratulate you on your month by month knowledge of Playboy magazine covers.
well, I know that one very well. I did not bring up that I believe the woman that he was posing with has later been arrested for cocaine smuggling. Uh,
Fantastic.
yeah, that was well, yeah. They're basically
Was she a
one.
playmate or is she?
It was a playmate, I believe. But yeah, I
That's a
think
whole podcast in and of itself.
yeah. You can see
That we
on
could do
the
a whole.
cover. One cover we have one person is a terrible criminal doing horrible illegal things. The other was is a Playboy Playmate who was arrested for
Who's
cooking.
just for cooking. I
Yeah.
mean, that podcast named itself, right? Snow Bunny.
Yes, that's exactly. Oh,
That-
yeah, exactly
That's
right.
come on. It writes itself. That's our next podcast.
Yeah, but
Snow
that is
Bunny, the life and times of.
yeah, but that tells you exactly what happened to the family value. I mean, think about it like that. That's where we went from in family values. We went from that, and it wasn't that long ago.
Well, it's
You know,
ironic that their pretense, their dumb show, has moved from staunch morality to basically anti-morality. We don't want any sort of, because when people are against cancel culture or are against wokeness, they're basically saying they're against any sort of culpability, any sort of taking responsibility for any moral misdoing.
absolutely, that's exactly what they're doing, and they're doing the same thing. I mean, this is basically right wing virtue signaling. This is
Mhm.
real cancel culture. I mean, Mike Lee's actually putting real legislation to end baseball's antitrust exemption, for example.
Right,
Uh,
but their virtue signaling is the equivalent of like cutting off your pinky for to be part of a mafia or a yakuza
yes, yes, exactly.
organization.
So I guess we have to wrap it up very quickly here.
Yes, yes, you have a hard out at 7, so this is a short one.
This is a
Uh, yeah, yeah. So we'll quickly end. Earlier in the show, Ari asked one of his guests their favorite Joker. What's your favorite Joker?
I was disappointed when David Ehrenberg said, "Oh, you're the old school Joker," and he said Jack Nicholson. I
Instead of Cesar Romero?
Yes, Cesar Romero is the old school Joker. I like all three versions of this. I also already did not include Joaquin Phoenix as the most recent version.
Or Jared Leto? No,
Yeah,
no.
Jared Leto, I think, is by consensus the worst Joker. Um, but I think that of the three, the classic Joker is Jack Nicholson's Joker. I mean, he
Mhm.
has the Heath Ledger stuff, but and he also has the Cesar Romero stuff. He's kind of the more classic Joker. So when you think
Well,
of him,
isn't Mark Hamill the classic Joker?
well, that's actually the right answer, I guess. The right
That's
answer is
correct.
your favorite Joker is Mark Hamill, the
Right, right.
voice of the Joker on the animated series. Absolutely right. So I would definitely, I think that's actually the correct answer. If there's actually a correct answer to this question, it's Mark Hamill is the right
Correct answer is Heath Ledger, but we'll go on from this. Thank you everyone for this very short delayed Che day. For
answer.
Chaitanya Kamandori and me, Shia Porn. Thank you and good night.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.